Welcome to another season of Score Golf. Today we tee up our first show of the year with an interview with Graeme McDowell, a look at TaylorMade's latest innovation, and we start the countdown to this year's ranking of the top 100 Canadian golf courses. This is Score Golf, the voice of Canadian golf. Score Golf is brought to you by TaylorMade, the #1 driver in golf. Molson Canadian 67, the official beer of the PGA of Canada and the RBC Canadian Open. RBC, proud sponsor of the RBC Canadian Open and amateur golf in Canada. Hello Canada, and welcome to a new season of Score Golf. Well, no matter where you live in this country, it has been a long, hard, cold winter. We've had ice storms, we've had snowstorms, we've had temperatures that have gone down to -40 and below that. It's been an awful, awful winter. But folks, that's just about to change. Golf season is on the horizon, and Score Golf is back for another year of bringing you the best in Canadian golf. And this year, of course, it's going to be a big year for Score Golf. We have our top 100 course ranking coming up a little bit later in the summer. We'll be all over that here on Score Golf, whether it's television, magazine, or on the internet. We're going to have all sorts of great profiles of the top Canadian players, including Graeme McDowell, who's off to such a great start in this new PGA Tour season. All the up-and-coming players, male, female. We're going to introduce you to some new players you might not know about. We're also going to show you some great places to play golf this year and give you some help for your game. Yes, it's an exciting new year here on Score Golf TV. Let's get things started. Our first burning question focuses on golf's AAA circuit, the Web.com Tour. 13 native sons own some degree of status, and Canadian fans will be eagerly tracking their progress all season. But come October, who will be the top Canadian? Adam Hadwin's experience out there gives him the edge, while some older vets are crafty enough to collect the needed cash. Don't forget the last 4 Canadian-born Canadian amateur champs all have the talent to get it done too. And who might join those 4 past champs with a major amateur win of their own this year? Well, an obvious candidate is teen sensation Brooke Henderson. The Team Canada star won multiple titles each of the last 2 summers and made the cut in last year's U.S. Women's Open. On the men's side, Corey Connors and Taylor Pendrith are teammates at Kent State University, and both have had great success on the course. They're worth keeping an eye on. Also keep an eye on Score Golf all summer. It's a top 100 year for us, which means we'll be ranking Canada's top golf courses from 1 to 100. What course will hold down the top spot as Canada's best? In the past, the battle has been waged between the National, St. George's, and Hamilton, but perhaps a new contender will oust the others in 2014. We'll have the answer this July. Some of those courses might also be an answer for another burning question. Where will the RBC Canadian Open go after Royal Montreal? This year's edition is all set for La Belle Provence, but after that, all options are on the table. Shaughnessy, St. George's, and Hamilton are previous hosts expected to be in the mix, but rumors suggest several newcomers are also being discussed. Stay tuned for this announcement. As for the actual event, Brandt Snedeker was a deserving champ at last year's RBC Canadian Open, but who will it be in 2014? With a field this year expected to include the likes of Luke Donald, Graeme McDowell, and Matt Kuchar, among others, a stellar show could be in store for Royal Montreal. Hunter Mahan, Dustin Johnson, and Snedeker should also be contenders once again, while the Canadian contingent tries to break the 50-plus year drought in our National Open. One of those Canadians will be Mike Weir, and fans are dying to know, will he rebound and hold on to his PGA Tour status? The lefty's dealt with coaching changes and injuries for what seems like forever, but he's finally healthy and ready to compete. He's shown flashes of his old self, but finding consistency will be the key to making more cuts and netting enough FedEx Cup points to squeeze inside the top 125. Playing on his final career money list exemption, the pressure will be mounting. While Weir has a major on his resume, a number of others are looking for theirs. Who will be the next to join the major club in 2014? We've already touched on guys such as Mahan, Kuchar, and Snedeker, but don't count out rising stars such as Jason Day or Jordan Spieth either. Henrik Stenson is another to watch after capturing last year's FedEx Cup, as is veteran Sergio Garcia, who many agree is long overdue. 10 years younger and with 2 majors under his belt is Rory McIlroy. although none came in a very disappointing 2013 season, leading us to ask, will Rory rebound? Early results say that he will, and he insists his personal life and his equipment are non-issues. But the jury is still out whether the Northern Irishman can return to the form he displayed as the world's #1 golfer 2 years ago. With so much potential, expectations are certainly high. Speaking of potential, it continues to tantalize us with our homegrown star, Graeme McDowell. His breakout season a year ago has started much the same way in 2014, with an elusive first win the missing piece of the puzzle. When will he win? Well, it can take golfers hundreds of starts to finally catch the break they need to enter the winner's circle. Chances are McDowell, despite all the promise he's shown, is no exception and he'll have to wait his turn. But it could be sooner rather than later. His stats say he's among the best on tour in most categories, and if he can ever nail down his putting, a victory should follow. Finally, our most burning question of this PGA Tour season surrounds the game's biggest star. Tiger Woods won 5 times during a stellar 2013 campaign, but he left everyone wondering why none of those victories came at one of the big 4. He's now 38, and the pressure isn't getting any lighter. So the question is, will Tiger win a major in 2014? We've seen how dominant Woods can be on any given week, but can he put 4 good rounds together specifically for golf's most prestigious events? We don't know, but we can't wait to watch. After this break, Graeme McDowell hits some balls with Score Golf and talks about the 2014 season. One-on-One with GMAC is brought to you by Score Golf Magazine, available at golf facilities across the country right now. Graeme McDowell is one of golf's most recognizable faces, partially because he's won on both the European and PGA Tours, but most likely because he's got lots of personality and charisma. The Northern Irishman has 2 PGA Tour titles under his belt, including the RBC Heritage Classic, but most memorably, it's the 2010 US Open at Pebble Beach. I had a chance to hit a few balls with him earlier this season.
All right, Graeme, 2013 is over, and it was a pretty good year for you. I mean, all combined, 3 wins worldwide. You got to be pleased with the season. A little bit schizophrenic at times, perhaps, with some wins and miscuts back-to-back, but sum it up for us.
Yeah, I mean, I think schizophrenic's an interesting way to describe it. You know, I described it at one point during the season as binary golf. You know, it was either a 1 or it was a 0, and you know, sometimes you have seasons where you're very consistent but don't get a lot out of it. 2012 was a bit that way for me. Great performance in the major championships. Played very consistency all year, but couldn't seem to find that win. Couldn't find a W much. But 2013 rolls in, like you say, up and down. Missing a lot of cuts, but you know, 3 wins to my name. Very pleasing. You know, especially the RBC Heritage at Hilton Head was definitely the highlight of my season. To play as well as I did there in the last round in some windy conditions, tough conditions. Great event with a lot of history and heritage, and then the Volvo World Match Play and the Open de France back in Europe as well. So some good performances in the WGCs. Disappointing in the major championships. You know, so my focus moving into 2014 is really trying to be ready for that summer of golf, trying to be ready for that stretch of US Open, the Open, US PGA, into the FedEx playoffs, and into the Ryder Cup as well in 2014. So, yeah, a lot to pull on this year, a lot to learn from, and I'm excited about getting ready for next season.
A lot of players, and I think you have mentioned this as well, perhaps trying to cut back a little bit on the travel, maybe not play as many tournaments all over the world. It's tough, though. There are a lot of demands on your time and a lot of demands to show up at different tournaments, but would you like to kind of cut it back just a little bit? I'm
trying to, you know. I'm trying to cut it back really in all aspects of what I'm doing around golf, you know. The more successful you come, the more demands on your time, the more your sponsors kind of you know, want a piece of you, and you know, of course they are very important to what I do. You know, I'm very lucky to have a great portfolio of amazing sponsors, and you know, so making sure I prioritize my time and choosing the right events that fit me, playing the right amount, not too little, not too much, being ready on a Thursday. That's the key, really. You know, being prepared. I'm a guy who likes to prepare meticulously, and so getting all that right, putting all that together is what scheduling's all about, and it's an art form, and it's an ever-evolving landscape as well. You know, there's a lot of amazing events around the world. You're having to say no to great events sometimes, and that's hard to do. But getting it right, what suits one player doesn't necessarily suit the next, so I'm trying to work out what makes me tick.
McDowell is a member of Team RBC and played in his first RBC Canadian Open in 2013 at Glen Abbey.
Yeah, my first season as an RBC ambassador certainly was a fairly successful one. Winning the RBC Heritage there at Hilton Head, that was a nice way to start my relationship with RBC. Doing amazing things within golf, with both their events, the RBC Canadian Open as well, and all the amazing ambassadors that they have. My Canadian Open experience didn't really go as planned from a golf point of view. I certainly enjoyed Toronto's hospitality, though. I went to a ball game and just enjoyed some great food and some great atmosphere in the city. Glen Abbey was a beautiful golf course, which I just didn't perform very well on, but excited to go to Montreal next year. I've heard amazing things about it. Royal Montreal, supposed to be a great old school golf course, and one that I'm very, very excited to be there next year and hopefully competing.
And finally, you made a list last year, which is a pretty interesting list of the nicest guys on the PGA Tour. I think you were ranked 5th. I'd have you a little higher in my own personal list, but seriously, how important is something like that, being known as one of the nice guys out there, one of the guys who makes time for the fans and for the media?
Yeah, most importantly, I think that list was coming from the people who matter. The fans, the spectators, the people that make golf tournaments work. Officials and cameramen and the media and just the people who know the players inside and out. Of course, it is nice to feel like I do a good job at what I do. I'm trying to be a role model for kids. I'm trying to be professional. I'm trying to be the best I can be at my sport, and it's nice to make sure that I make people happy while I'm doing it as well. So that's important to me.
All right, we'll see you in Montreal at the RBC Canadian Open.
Looking forward to it.
Okay.
The 100. Taking a look at ScoreGolf's top 100 Canadian courses. Watch the official release on July 19th right here on TSN. This year marks the 14th edition of ScoreGolf's top 100 Canadian course rankings. The list began in 1988 when the top 5 courses were: number 5, host of the 2012 RBC Canadian Open, Hamilton Golf and Country Club; number 4, the host of this year's RBC Canadian Open, Royal Montreal Golf Club; number 3, Vancouver Gem Capilano Golf and Country Club; number 2, the host of numerous Canadian Opens, the Jack Nicklaus-designed Glen Abbey Golf Club; and at number 1, the same course that sat atop our rankings more than any other course, the National Golf Club of Canada. Over the past 25 years, most of Canada's top courses have found themselves somewhere on this list. And in 2012, the National Golf Club of Canada was ranked number 1 yet again. Designed by George and Tom Fazio in 1975, the National is consistently regarded as Canada's best test of golf in the country. Anybody who can shoot even par can likely make a career playing golf on the PGA Tour. Yes, folks, it is that difficult. Coming in at number 2 on the 2012 rankings was St. George's Golf and Country Club, located in the west end of Toronto in the suburb of Etobicoke. Designed in 1929 by the great Canadian architect Stanley Thompson, tee shots span valleys and rolling fairways wind through towering trees to well-protected green complexes. As tough as playability seems to be for amateurs and members, 2010 RBC Canadian Open champion Carl Peterson tore through the course record books with a blistering 60, missing a 25-foot putt on the 18th hole for what would have been a career-best 59. Number 3 in 2012 was Hamilton Golf and Country Club, host of 5 Canadian Opens, including most recently a couple of years ago when Scott Piercy won the national championship. Designed by Harry Colt nearly 100 years ago, it continues to impress some of the world's greatest golfers, including Justin Rose, who said, "It's as beautiful and as great a golf course as what I expected it to be. I like the look of every hole out there." After the big 3, the list filled out with Jasper Park Lodge at 4th, followed by the Stanley Thompson-designed Capilano Golf and Country Club in West Vancouver. Throughout our broadcasting season, we'll bring you many more memorable Top 100 moments, leading up to our unveiling of the 2014 Top 100 Canadian Golf Course ranking, airing on July 19th, right after the completion of the British Open here on TSN. Until then, join the conversation and tell us what you consider to be the top golf course in Canada. When we return, we'll take a look at TaylorMade's newest gear. When it comes to grabbing the attention of golfers, no one does it quite like TaylorMade. While the company's drivers and irons can do it all on their own, TaylorMade loves to make a splash. Whether it's flying golfers over Torrey Pines or parachutists springing clubs from the sky, TaylorMade launches its new gear like no other company. This year is no different. Among the skyscrapers of Toronto, TaylorMade kicked off the golf season with its Speed Pocket World Challenge. Held in the heart of the business district outside Royal Bank Plaza, it was one of 4 events that occurred simultaneously across the globe. TaylorMade struck up this makeshift range, fitted with distance measuring monitors to illustrate how these clubs can change your game. It was an opportunity for golfers to test out TaylorMade's new Speedblade irons.
The Speed Pocket World Challenge, this is a pretty cool event we've got for really globally with the TaylorMade group. You're giving all golfers a chance to do is to come down. They can hit an existing iron we had in our lineup from a few years back, compare it with our new Speedblade iron, which again features a speed pocket and gets people awesome ball speed, higher launch, and a massive sweet spot, much easier to hit and play better golf.
The competition was to see who could get the greatest improvement in distance from using old R11 irons compared to the new Speed Blades. Each amateur who gave it a try came away with positive thoughts.
But we've seen some players, come out. We had one gentleman this morning actually picked up 39 yards, which sounds crazy, but just the feel of the shaft in combination with the new weighting in the Speed Pocket iron and the Speed Blade iron, he's been able to deliver, a pretty impressive performance. But we're seeing some players are picking up 4 and 5, some players are picking up 7, 8, and 9, but 39 yards is their highest so far today.
While 39 yards sounds like a lot just by changing your club, it wasn't even the largest gain. Hailing from New York, the world champion picked up 65 yards, besting Toronto's top challenger by 4 at the end of the day. I even got the chance to try out the product myself, and I picked up 7 yards. Though I didn't come close to the records, the technology behind the club is impressive. Added distance is a major feature, but these irons are also designed specifically to minimize the margin of error by making it easier to contact that sweet spot.
Really what it does is it activates the bottom half of the face. So the first thing we've got is the Speed Pocket. And this is a reintroduction of what we brought to the market last year in the Rocket Blade iron. And really what the engineers did is they went back and had a look at where we can increase a little bit of performance. You see that it's a little bit deeper in the heel and toe section, which allows us a little bit more forgiveness on off-center hits, which allows players, of all abilities from, a 0 right up to a 30 handicap, the ability to hit those precision shots in and around the greens.
For the average Joes on this day, what catches their eye is that an equipment upgrade this year might be worth exploring. We're expecting that this won't be the last innovative event from TaylorMade this golf season. We'll have everything for you right here on Score Golf. Plan your South Carolina golf getaway at southcarolinagolf.ca. Some of the world's most famous golf courses are right here in the Palmetto State. With more than 360 beautiful courses from the mountains to the sea, the golf capital of the South offers challenging play in spectacular settings. Tee off on the famous Ocean Course on Kiowa Island, which served as the host to the 2012 PGA Championship, or play in South Carolina's mountain golf region that traverses dramatic hills, scenic lakes, and roaring mountain streams. With courses designed by great architects such as Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, Pete Dye, and Davis Love III, and 3 of the top 50 women-friendly courses in America, South Carolina features some of the world's greatest golf challenges for both men and women. The state has hosted everything from the Ryder Cup to the World Cup of Golf. Harbortown Golf Links on Hilton Head Island is home to the annual PGA's RBC Heritage Tournament. Designed by Pete Dye, this course boasts an 18th hole that is considered one of the most challenging in all of golf, offering breathtaking, beautiful scenic views of the Atlantic. The Ocean Course at Kiowa Island Golf Resort on Kiowa Island in the Charleston area was dubbed by Golf Digest as the toughest course in America, and it was home to the 2012 PGA Championship. Mind you, Rory McIlroy tamed the beast en route to winning his PGA Championship only a couple of years ago. Set amid the splendor of 200-year-old moss-draped oaks in the historical coastal region of South Carolina, Polly's Plantation provides the perfect setting for a memorable golf getaway. This Jack Nicklaus signature course is a rare design, where extraordinary beauty combines with the Golden Bear's masterful architecture to deliver an exceptional golf experience. When you leave the golf course, there's so much to do away from the game. The Upstate offers an exciting zipline tour or whitewater rafting in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains, while the Midlands features Columbia's Riverbank Zoo, museums, and the state capitol. Myrtle Beach's boardwalk has the popular Sky Wheel, a 187-foot Ferris wheel that's one of the largest in North America. Charleston is one of America's most romantic cities and has numerous must-see attractions, but none more historic than Boone Hall, America's most photographed plantation. In Hilton Head Island, more than 95 kilometers of bike trails connect visitors to the shops, the Southern cuisine restaurants, and the beaches. With diverse landscapes, a wide variety of habitats, and unparalleled natural beauty, South Carolina is the perfect destination for enjoying the great outdoors, sightseeing, and family entertainment. The Palmetto State is nestled among majestic mountains, lush midlands, and beautiful beaches, bringing golfers and outdoor enthusiasts alike to this land of contrast. From the Blue Ridge Mountains to the Atlantic coast, you can hike your way up to the breathtaking mountain passes, relax on our white sand beaches, kayak picturesque marshes, or go boating on the lake and fish for bass where the pros go. Find out why South Carolina golf courses are both world-renowned and locally loved. Check out Score Golf on all the major social media networks the next time you're looking for a Canadian golf course fix. When Score Golf returns, we'll wrap up our show with some thoughts about Canadians on tour. Week Speaks brought to you by Bushnell, the undisputed #1 laser rangefinder in professional golf.
Well, 2014 is a new year, and as golfers, that means lots of opportunities, lots of possibilities. I mean, we're always optimists, aren't we? We're always sure that the next round or the next shot or the next day is going to be just that much better. And that holds true when we're watching our top Canadian professionals, wherever they may be playing. For Graeme McDowell, of course, all sorts of new possibilities this year. He's going to be playing in all 4 majors, the World Golf Championship events. A very busy schedule for him. But he's not the only one out there. We've got our eyes on David Hearn and Brad Fritsch and Mike Weir. And of course, Stephen Ames, who will turn 50 this year and join the Champions Tour. How will he do playing alongside Rod Spittle and Jim Rutledge? The Web.com Tour is filled with Canadians like Adam Hadwin. The LPGA Tour, we have veterans like Laurie Kane and rookies such as Jennifer Kirby. It's going to be an exciting year in professional golf. I think it's going to be a very special one as well. Follow it here on Score Golf, no matter whether you're reading the magazine, watching the TV show, following us on our website at SCOREGolf.com. We'll be here to bring you the latest and the greatest in Canadian golf news. We'll see you next time right here on Score Golf.
Score Golf is brought to you by Tourism Prince Edward Island. Come for the golf, stay for the party. Molson Canadian 67, the official beer of the PGA of Canada and the RBC Canadian Open. Clothing provided by Ashworth. All we do is golf.